Hey guys, welcome back to Beginner Beauty Glow. Happy Thursday. I hope everyone is staying warm. I am in Minnesota. Let's see, it's already cold out today. I don't know the temperature today, but I do know this starting tomorrow, or starting tonight actually, I think it's gonna get down to like the negative 40s to negative 50s. So whew, I don't know what we're gonna do, but we're definitely gonna be inside. I'm going to be doing my lashes today, so I just wanted to do like a quick little lash tutorial and show you guys how I do my lashes. My lash clusters, I should point out. I know you don't really need a spa headband to do your lashes, but sometimes I do feel like my hair kind of creeps over and gets caught and things, so I just like to put it on. I'm going to be using these lashes today. I got these from TikTok Shop. These are the Airy Cute brand. The Viva is the style name. These have been my favorite lashes recently. They're just super cute. If anybody is interested, you know, once I put these on and if you like them and you're interested, let me know and I can send you, or I can even post the link for these in the description or something, but just let me know. All right, so here's how they look. So size wise, I'll probably just do my usual mapping. I'll probably be doing 18, 16, maybe 2 16s, 14, 12, 10. I don't know. It just depends on what I can fit. Or I might just go 18, 16, 14, 12 and end there. But I do feel like sometimes 12 in my inner corners can tend to get a little bit long for my inner corners. So I do like to usually end in at least a 10. Sorry, I don't mean to be carrying on about that, but I'll figure it out as I go. Let me see. Let me get out my supplies here. I do use the Flutter Habit long wear adhesive. So this you put on the I guess the base of your cluster, and then this this is the prep and seal. So the prep it goes on your lashes, the seal goes on at the very end. I really like these two products together. My lashes usually could last 7 to 10 days. I don't keep them on that long because my preference, I like to just take them off every usually 5 days is the longest I keep them on. They could stand longer, but I keep them on for about 5. Sometimes even less than that because I get sick of them and then I want to take them off and redo them. But yeah, I really like Flutter Habits products for my lash retention. And also the Seal It does take away that stickiness. And if you wear lash clusters, you know what I'm talking about, where you anytime you do that with your eyes, you can feel like the stickiness from the glue. This Seal It takes that away. So that's also, you know, obviously when you're sleeping and you wake up and your lashes are all stuck to your eyelids or whatever, this prevents that from happening. So very good products to have. And then I have my Kiss tweezers here that I like to use. I kind of just like to have a makeup wipe on hand just to kind of wipe things up as I go along. I got a whole new box of the Airy Cutes over here because that's how much I love them. I didn't want to run out of them. All right, so I'm debating if I'm going to put tape on my eyelids. I like putting the tape on because it definitely helps apply the lashes better, but yeah, I think I'm gonna try the tape. So what I like to do, here's the tape that I use. Is this the one? Yeah. No. Yeah. So what I do is I take the adhesive and I plan out what lashes I'm going to use, and I put the adhesive on the band of each cluster and just kind of like set them up over here. And then, because you do want to give this 1 to 2 minutes to kind of get tacky before you put them on your lashes. So I do that, and then while I'm letting those sit with the adhesive on, then I put on my Prep It. All right, so let me go ahead and get started. I don't know why, but I like to kind of always give this a little shake. So how cold is it going to be where you guys are? All right, so I'm starting off with an 18 here, and I'm going to try to do this a little bit in the camera, but it's you know, it takes some practice to get this down, because all right, so I do have it on the bottom there, and I'm just going to set this down, and then I'm going to go get a 16 and do the same thing. So I'm just putting the adhesive on the base of each cluster and setting them down to get tacky before I apply. Ooh, that was way too much. Like I said, it can take some practice to just like putting the lashes on in general. All right, that was a 16, so now I will go to a 14. And then I think what I'm going to do after, yeah, I'm going to do a 14 and then a 12 and then a 10. So hopefully I can fit all these on. I mean, I could. I just really don't want to overlap this time around. Kind of want to just make them a little more natural. You know, sometimes I do like to overlap my lashes if I'm wanting a thicker, more volume look. And then sometimes I don't. So it all just depends what I am wanting or what I'm feeling like that week. All right, so there was the 12. Now I'll do the 10. And I'm sorry, I know you guys aren't seeing anything that I'm doing right now. So I'm just trying to explain. Maybe I'll try to speed up my video during this part of it just so it's not so boring and long for you guys. All right, so got those ones done. I like to just usually kind of clean up the tip of this before I put the cap on. So I'm only doing one side at a time. So I'm gonna put my cap back on right now. Now I'm gonna take my Prep It and I'm gonna put that on my lashes, but no, I'm not gonna do the tape, sorry. I don't know. It's nice, it's just kind of a hassle. And it can be trickier to get the lashes on. I don't know. All right, so sorry, I just had to think about that for a minute. I'm not gonna put the tape on today. So I put this on just like I would, you know, if I was putting on mascara. I know a lot of people say just put it at the base of your lashes, but I have always just kind of applied it like I would mascara. So you can do what works for you. All right. That is on, and then we can go ahead and start applying the lashes. So I'm gonna, obviously, I start with my outer corner. I know a lot of people say start with your inner corner. I start with my outer. So I'm gonna grab my 18 here, give it a little blow, and then put it on. I'm gonna try to get a little close to the camera. And that one was a fail. Oh, sometimes these get a little tricky. Sorry, I had to lick my tweezers because it helps them not stick. All right, there we go. Okay, so then I'm gonna squeeze them together with my lashes, and then you'll see they'll be on the adhesive will be on the tweezers after you do that. So that's why I have my makeup wipe here to clean these off as I go. And then I will have to probably clean up my eyelid a little bit as well. All right, so that was the 18, and now we will move over to the 16. All right, got my 16. All right, so that's how we're looking. Okay, now I'm moving on to the 14. I'm gonna hold off on squeezing these ones together. I'm gonna just go right in with my 12. I'll just kind of squeeze them all together at the end. Oh, shoot. All right, so now I'm gonna squeeze them together. Okay, so that's how that eye looks. And then from here, sometimes I do a second layer if I'm wanting a more thicker, fuller look. And then some weeks I don't. This week I probably won't be doing too much this week, and I'll probably just be in the house, speaking of how cold it's going to be. I'm going to take my little fan here and let these dry for a second. But yeah, so you could do a second layer. They would look gorgeous either way. But this week I'm just going to do the one single layer. Kind of like to make sure each of these are nice and dried. I do kind of want to give them a little more squeeze. Sorry for the licking, but it just really helps keep the lashes from clinging to the tweezers. And yes, I suppose I could go get a cup of water, but then I feel, and dip them in water, but then I feel like, well, it's gonna like soak the tweezers in water and get water everywhere, so no. All right, so that's how that eye looks. And now I'm just gonna do the same on the other side. So I'm going to pause the video, do the same on this eye, and then I will be right back. All right, I am back. I have the lashes on and I'm ready to put my sealant on, and I can feel I'm ready to put it on because right now when I'm blinking I can slightly feel my top lashes sticking to my bottom lashes, and that's quite annoying. So if you don't know and you don't have this yet and you hate that feeling of your lashes sticking to your bottom lashes, I highly suggest the sealant. So comes like this, and I'm just going to start by rubbing that against the lashes. I will say, for some reason, this stuff, out of anything, I always end up poking my eye with, but I don't know why, but I do. All right, so now what I do, after I do that, I also put some in my tweezers and squeeze it on with my tweezers, if that makes sense. I'm just putting it on the insides of my tweezers. And let me just set this down. Okay. Just so I can get them nice and sealed. All right, so I do that side, and then I'm gonna do the other side. All right, so I got them nice and coated, and then I'm gonna do the same with this eye. Make sure to clean your tweezers off right away, because this stuff can get tricky to wash off. Well, not tricky, but just a little more hard to clean off once this gets all dried up on your tweezers. So I'm gonna clean these, and then my last step is just taking my fan and drying my lashes off, just to make sure everything's completely sealed. I do kind of, sometimes I take a Q-tip as well. All right, so I'm just gonna use my fan here to dry these off. All right, and that is the final product, the final results of the lashes. Like I said, I'm obsessed with these lashes. I think they're so pretty. I love how they kind of give like the wet look, and honestly they look even better in person. A lot of things on video are hard to see, but these look so much better in person. I love them. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and again, if you are interested in the lashes, let me know. I can link them somehow. And please stay warm. Also, if you have not already, please make sure to subscribe to my channel, give my video a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.